It was interesting sitting here tonight, and I was wondering why Cindy wasn't talking. She was listening, and she's a good listener. She's a very good listener. And at the end, I realized that was the rule, that she was supposed to listen the entire time. And I felt myself editing my words quite a bit because I felt everything she was listening to was important. It needed to be relevant. So I felt like I was really giving her the most important stuff I had to say. She was listening to everything I said. She wanted me to make a list of solutions, things that bothered me, solutions for it. And then I handed it to her, and I was able to speak about it, and she heard me. So really, she wasn't giving me a sales pitch, I guess you'd call it that. That's oftentimes what we hear. She was listening to me, and I don't think I've ever experienced that before.
I mean, I'd met with Cindy before the primary, and I knew that she was more of a bottom-up than a top-down. There's not going to be any bow, yield, kneel with her, like we get a lot of times right now from the department. She's willing to listen to her staff. I mean, as a principal, because I did some background checking on her too in Cheyenne. I've got it's Wyoming, so I got a lot of guys that I grew up with that work down there, and I can see that that's her management style, to listen to the people that actually are doing the work, which is refreshing. It is good.
I have 181 days to teach. Many of these days I'm out of the classroom training, so I value every single day with my kids. I guard my days fiercely. And I'd like to think that I'm teaching them to the very last day I have them, the very last minute I have them. However, I'm tested in March. And so when you think about it, I teach September, October, November, December, January, February. I teach 6 months. And then you're testing me as if I've taught 9 months. I feel like they're being cheated, and in a way I'm being cheated. You're not really seeing what I can do. You're not seeing what those children can do. Test them at the end of the year rather than 3/4 of the way through.
And to cut the testing window down, I mean, it's so arduous to take that much. And the big thing I guess I heard was that we're only teaching 6 out of the 9 months. So when your child goes to school, if you do that over a 13-year career, they're only getting about 7.5 years of education. The rest of it, they're being tested. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. So
it seems like my children appreciate the technology end of it more than the written end. And we're constantly talking about how do we prepare them for their future, that we need to move into the future with them. And it seems like paper pencil, it's just not, it's not relevant to them. They don't take it seriously. And I think technology is where we need to be.
in my situation, I was lucky because our platform was nearly identical to the testing platform when they designed this thing down in Texas to be deployed here. But other schools, like right here in Riverton, and tech directors are like coaches or superintendents. We all talk, we all share ideas, and some of the guys had horrible stories. I mean, Riverton High School was a horrible story. I know Wyoming Indian Lander had problems. Casper and Cheyenne had tremendous problems. I mean, it got to the point where, in the end, only 87% of the students in the state were tested. 13% of the students, some of the districts just said it's not going to happen and didn't test. So that's how viable is an exam when, when 1/8 of the students in the state didn't even attempt it.
It was powerful not to be focused on what's not working, but on what really needs to happen and what the solutions are. I had not heard some of those angles, those lenses were new to me. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I certainly agreed with so much of what was said because again, that's been my experience for the most part. We had so much in common. But there were some things that I gained that would never have happened had I not been here tonight. We learned some things about how powerful a small group can be when you have people in the room who are passionate about a topic like pause. And I think we need to do this all over the state or anywhere that we're given the opportunity. It really worked.
Well, it was interesting to be listened to. So that was fun for me. to think about, well, what could we do instead? What could be the solution?